Welcome back to Disturbed Reality. Despite the disturbing nature of the content on this channel, one aspect of the community in which I am most proud of is that we are international, and many of you have said that you would like content covering cases from other areas of the globe in which I have not previously explored. This is where today's case comes into play. As a slight disclaimer, I have to confess, this topic is slightly outside of my comfort zone, so if anybody out there has any additional information, please feel free to share in the comments below. The case in question stems from Africa, to be exact, Nigeria, and it depicts the brutal execution of a female Nigerian military personnel. It's said that the brutal murder was carried out by the IPOB, short for the Indigenous People of Biafra, a nationalist separatist group in Nigeria that aims to restore the Republic of Biafra, a country which seceded from Nigeria prior to the Nigerian Civil War of 1967 to 1970, and later rejoined Nigeria after its defeat by the Nigerian military. The IPOB group was founded in 2012 by Nnamdi Kanu, a British Nigerian political activist known for his advocacy of the contemporary Biafran independence movement. The IPOB was deemed a terrorist organisation by the Nigerian government in 2017 under the Nigerian Terrorism Act, and as of May 2022, the United Kingdom started denying asylum to members of IPOB who engaged in human rights abuses, though the UK government clarified that IPOB had not been designated as a terrorist organisation. Since 2021, IPOB and other Biafran separatist groups have been fighting a brutal guerrilla conflict in southeastern Nigeria against the Nigerian government, with the IPOB group criticising the Nigerian government for poor investment, political alienation, inequitable resource distribution, ethnic marginalisation, and a heavy military presence, who have been accused of non-judicial killings in southeastern, south-central, and parts of north-central Nigeria. One of the most prominent examples of such violence was the May 2022 Anambra State killings, where militants, reportedly associated with the IPOB, murdered 14 civilians in a series of attacks. Among the victims was a pregnant woman, as well as children. The killings were part of the insurgency in southeastern Nigeria. Okechukwu Okoye, a member of the Anambra State House of Assembly, was abducted with an aide on the 15th of May 2022. Okoye's head was later found in a park in Inwe South on the 21st of May. The rest of his body and the corpse of his aide were later also discovered. On the 22nd of May 2022, militants reportedly carried out two massacres. In the first incident, a Biafran separatist group ambushed Harira Jibril and her family. Born in Adamawa State, Jibril was an ethnic Hausa and resident in Orumba South. She had visited relatives and was on her way back home via a taxi when the militants attacked at the Izulo Orumba North. Jibril, who was pregnant, and her 4 children, aged 2 to 9, were murdered, while their driver escaped. The family's corpses were later photographed and filmed, and subsequently were published on Twitter, with the killing being attributed to Jibril's northern origin. On the same day, 5 commercial motorcycle riders were murdered in Onitsha, possibly due to refusing to comply with the IPOB's order for civilians to stay at home. The body of one of the murdered motorcyclists was burned by the attackers. In addition, a roadside salesman was also killed at Ananka. The motorcycle riders and the salesman were all of northern Nigerian origin. Some footage and photos of the ongoing conflict have been captured and have found their way online. The most brutal example being a video that surfaced in May of 2022 depicting the brutal execution of a female military member. The victims in the video were Private Gloria Matthew, a retired army officer, and Linus Musa Adu, a retired warrant officer, both of whom were soon to be married. 2 additional family members of Linus were also killed, believed to be his brothers. It's also said that the brothers were killed in front of Gloria's mother and her 10-year-old son. But nevertheless, what happens in the actual video? As a quick disclaimer, I would strongly advise you not to search for this video as it's exceptionally graphic. The video is just under 3 minutes long. As it starts, you see the body of Linus, who is laying next to a shallow grave with his throat slit. 2 additional bodies lay in the grave, who are presumably Linus's brothers. It's said that prior to the recording, Gloria was beaten and yelled by the separatists while they made her soon-to-be husband watch. Gloria, who has been stripped naked, is laying next to her fiancé's body. It's clear that she has been severely beaten at the very least, as she's covered in bruises. The man recording can be heard talking. He is cussing and insulting the victims, and another man can be seen in shot, carrying a large knife. The man with the knife drags Gloria by the legs to get her closer in shot of the cameraman. He then takes the knife and starts slashing Gloria's throat. As this is happening, her body reacts and she tries to kick and roll to stop her attacker, but to no avail. Presumably due to shock, she doesn't scream or make a sound, but you hear the knife slicing through flesh and the sound of blood bubbling. The cameraman can be heard saying "fuck them" as Gloria is being beheaded. Eventually, the executioner beheads Gloria and places her head on her stomach and then next to her. The look of terror on Gloria's face remained frozen even after she was decapitated. After the murder, the video gets even more graphic. The man who carried out the beheading takes the knife and starts slicing in the pubic area. After a few seconds, he removes Gloria's genitalia and places it on her body. The cameraman exclaims, "What the fuck, man?" in a surprised tone. The murderer, after beheading and mutilating Gloria, then starts to decapitate Linus, who is already dead. He cuts through the throat and starts striking the spinal cord with the blade, which due to nerves, draws a reaction from Linus's body. This is where the video ends. As of right now, the killers in the video are still believed to be on the loose. Let's hope they face justice, sooner rather than later, before they can hurt anyone else. Another sad aspect of this story is that the couple were believed to be on their way to their wedding. What was supposed to be a day of celebration, making plans, and looking forward to living the rest of their lives with each other, instead turned out to be their brutal and untimely demise. A Nigerian-based blog, Lib, run by Linda Akiji, managed to obtain a recording of a phone call in which one of the killers in the video confessed to the crime and gave a reasoning for why they committed the murders, essentially stating that the murders were in response to Nigerian soldiers allegedly killing innocent Biafran civilians. The phone call is extremely distressing. It's believed that the person talking to the killer was a friend of Gloria's. How she was able to directly speak to the killer is unknown, though it's possible that the killer was using Gloria's phone. As the killer confesses his crimes, Gloria's friend remains surprisingly calm, that is, until the reality of the situation sets in. She then starts to cry uncontrollably, as the killer laughs down the phone. I have to warn that the audio is distressing. Let's take a listen.
Hello? Hello? Please, what happened to my friend?
Hello?
Hello? Good afternoon. Please, what happened to my friend? Hello? Hello? Hello, I can hear you. Please, what happened to my friend?
What happened to your friend? Are you a soldier?
No, I'm a civilian.
You are a civilian?
Yes, sir.
And your friend is a soldier?
Yes, she's a soldier.
Okay. You should calm down, okay?
Yes, I'm okay, sir.
Calm down.
I'm okay, sir.
It's quite unfortunate that it has come to this way. I killed them, okay?
Okay, what did they do, sir?
Thank you. Have you heard of unknown gunmen before?
We do watch them on the movie, on the news.
You people do watch them on the movie, right?
Yes, sir.
And you people do see how soldiers are killing innocent people because of a non-government?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is why I caught them yesterday and I killed them. I killed 4 of them yesterday.
Before they are the soldier. Now only have
They are
the soldier.
soldiers now.
Hey.
Don't you know that your friend is a soldier?
I know she's a soldier.
For that reason. Don't you know them? And you are calling them your friend. Don't you know your friend?
I know she's a soldier.
Okay, you know.
Yes, sir.
Unknown gunmen don't eat the one now, this one now.
For where, sir?
For where?
Yes, sir.
For unknown destination. So he's telling you.
You never go scot-free. Our God will punish you. Our God will punish you. Never go scot-free.
So as you can hear, it's a very disturbing listen. Information surrounding this particular case is conflicting and somewhat hard to find, so apologies if anything was missed or if any mistakes were made. If anyone out there listening knows any more details about this situation, please feel free to share in the comments below. This particular case has certainly been an eye-opener for me, especially researching the Nigerian Civil War between 1967 and 1970. It's of no surprise to me that our government here in the UK were profiteering off that war by supplying weapons to the Nigerian government, who seemed pretty oppressive during that time period. Though as I said, it's hardly surprising. I mean, look at the last 20 years, illegally occupying Iraq over fake WMDs, and on top of that, look at some of the brutal regimes that we still supply with weapons to this very day. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, if you can enjoy this sort of content. This case was something a little different for me, so let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments below. And as always, thank you guys so much for the support that you have shown me. You guys really came out in force for the bonus video that was uploaded on Tuesday, so thank you very much, it's much appreciated. And yeah, as always, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.